So you've learned about destroyers, battleships, cruisers, and carriers. Now it's time to learn about consumables and upgrades and which to buy for every situation you face in the game. Consumables and upgrades play a major role in World of Warships. At level 6, upgrades are unlocked. Starting with destroyers, they rely massively at their speed and mobility, so we don't want our engine to get incapacitated. That's why we'll be taking Propulsion Modification 1. Since the main weapons of destroyers are torpedoes, we will be taking Torpedoes Modification 1. But if you are playing with a USN destroyer, the main battery modification 1 is also a good choice here. For the second slot, I will be picking Gunfire Control System Modification 1 since it will increase the firing accuracy of my main guns. At the fourth slot, the propulsion modification will increase our mobility by making the ship reach full speed 20% faster than normal, which is very important to destroyers that rely on speed and mobility. Coming over to cruisers, you should take main battery modifications 1 because you don't want your guns incapacitated. It will also reduce the chance of magazine detonation. At the second slot, we have two important choices. If you want less dispersion on your shells, go ahead and pick the Gunfire Control System modification. But if you want to focus on shooting down planes, you should take the AA Gun modification number 2. That will increase the AA range by 20%. On the third slot, all the three options are solid choices, but if you want less fluting and less fire, you can choose the damage control system. At the fourth slot, steering gears modification 2 is a good option if you want that boost in mobility. Now it's time for the battleships. At low tiers, main battery gun modification 1 and gunfire control system are the better options. Battleships are huge targets and they need to stay alive, so we will be taking the damage control system modification 1 and 2. That will decrease the fire and fluting time. Finally, the carriers. Since they have planes instead of guns, their upgrades are a bit different. So for the first slot, we take Air Groups Modification 1. At the second slot, you can choose Air Groups Modification 2 if you want to focus on fighters, or Fight Control 1 if you want to reduce the servicing time. For the last two slots, we need survivability, so we'll be taking Damage Control 1 and 2, because if you are on fire, we can't launch aircraft. Every ship has a damage control party consumable that will put out fires, stop floatings, and repair any incapacitated module. They have a very long cooldown, so be careful not to waste it. For a few credits, you can buy a premium version that features lower cooldown. All the other consumables also have premium versions that have lower cooldowns and one extra use. Now, destroyers have two consumables that are very useful. The engine boost will help you to get out of a pinch and reach objectives faster, while the smoke generator will make you invisible even if you fire from inside the smoke. But be aware, because cruisers and premium destroyer Low Yang have the hydrocaustic surge consumable that increase the detection range of ships and torpedoes even behind islands or inside smoke. Cruisers also have the defensive fire consumable that boosts AA gun damage and causes panic to torpedo bombers and dive bombers, making it difficult to hit their targets. Lastly, they have the catapult fighter that will scout your ship and engage any aircraft that comes close to you. Like a fighter, it will panic torpedo bombers and dive bombers. And finally, the battleships. They have the repair party consumable that recover a lost portion of your HP. This is very useful to keep you alive, so use it wisely. Battleships also have scout planes that will increase your main battery range by 20% and give you a bird's eye view. You can also swap your scout plane for a catapult fighter if you are having problems with carriers. That's it for this guide, and until the next time.